There's this moment you've had more than once. Your chest is tight. Your thoughts are racing. Something feels off. And you're stuck asking the same question. Is this just my anxiety freaking out again, or is God actually trying to warn me about something? If that's you, I need you to know you didn't click this by accident. This whole episode is for the person who's tired of not trusting their own feelings anymore. The one who keeps second guessing, am I overreacting or am I ignoring God? Stay with me all the way to the end of this. By the time we're done, you're going to walk away with real, practical filters and a new way to walk with God inside your emotions instead of at war with them. And hey, before we dive deep, if you're already thinking, yeah, this is me, tap like and subscribe so you don't lose these messages. Alright, let's talk about anxiety, holy warnings, and the God who's not scared of either. First, let's talk about the feeling you keep apologizing for. You know that cycle where you feel something rise up in you and you instantly question it. You feel uneasy about a person, restless about a decision, or suddenly heavy in a situation that should be fine. And your first move is to apologize for your own reaction, or to dismiss what you feel because you're afraid of getting it wrong or feeling it fully. Sorry, I'm just anxious. Sorry, I'm being dramatic. Sorry, I'm overthinking again. But here's the real question. What if some of the feelings you keep apologizing for are actually God trying to get your attention? And at the same time, what if some of what you've called discernment is really just an exhausted nervous system on high alert? No shame in either. But you do need to know the difference. Because if you treat every anxious spike like a word from God, you'll live paranoid and drained. And if you treat every holy nudge like just anxiety, you'll keep walking past the exits God is putting in front of you. So let's separate some things out. What anxiety feels like versus what a holy warning feels like. Let's start with your body, because God gave you one on purpose. Most of us were never taught how to listen to it with Him. Anxiety usually feels like urgency that screams, fix it right now or everything will fall apart. Thoughts that race in 10 directions at once. A buzzing, jittery energy, like your soul is pacing the room. A fear of what people think more than a fear of missing God. It's loud, it's messy. It often comes with shame attached. I shouldn't feel like this. What's wrong with me? Now, a holy warning or conviction can still feel heavy, but it hits different. It's serious but not panicked. It points to something specific, not just everything is wrong. There's usually a quiet clarity under it. You know this isn't good for you. You need to slow down here. This is not your door. It's less like a fire alarm screaming and more like a steady hand on your shoulder saying, hey, don't ignore this. One of the simplest ways to start practicing. Ask, is this coming from fear of losing control or from a desire to stay close to God? Fear screams, if you don't fix this, you're ruined. Holy warning whispers, if you keep going this way, you'll drift from me. Let's turn now. They might land in the same part of your chest, but they're coming from very different places. You're not going to nail this perfectly. God already knows that. He would rather walk with you while you learn than watch you shut down everything you feel because you're scared of getting it wrong or feeling it fully. Let's look at counterfeit peace versus real peace. Anxiety isn't the only thing that confuses us. Fake peace does too. There are choices that make you feel better for a moment because they numb you out. Scrolling till 3 a.m., going back to someone who only loves the unhealed version of you. Pouring another drink so you don't have to think tonight. That kind of peace is like sedation. You're not actually okay, just less aware of the pain for a minute. Real peace works differently. Real peace might not feel like fireworks, but there's a quiet rightness even when it's hard. You sleep a little deeper, your shoulders drop an inch. You're not constantly rehearsing a fake version of yourself. Here are 2 simple filters you can start using. 1. Would I still feel good about this after sleep, food, and a walk? Some of what you're calling a sign from God is just your body begging for rest. 2. Does this move push me toward God or away from Him? You don't always need a 10-step process. Just ask, if I say yes to this, will it help me walk closer with God, or will it give me a little relief while I quietly drift? God already knows you won't get this perfect. He'd rather walk with you while you're learning than watch you shut down what you feel out of fear. Let's be honest about something the church hasn't always handled well. Some of you grew up in chaos, in homes where yelling was normal, in relationships where you were punished for small mistakes, in churches where God sounded more like a ticking bomb than a loving father. When you live in that long enough, your nervous system starts doing its job too well. It scans every room for danger. It reads silence as something's wrong. It hears, we need to talk, and jumps straight to, I'm in trouble. No wonder everything feels like a warning. If that's you, hear me. God is not frustrated with you for that. He is gentle with your wiring. He knows why your heart races the way it does. He's not saying, why can't you just calm down and discern better? He's saying, I understand why you feel this way. Let me sit in it with you and teach you the difference. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is talk to God, and sometimes hearing God clearer starts with eating something, drinking water, taking 3 slow breaths, reminding your body we're not in that old house anymore. Then, from that calmer place, you can ask, okay, God, after the adrenaline settles, what are you actually saying? Now let's talk about what it actually looks like to invite God into what you feel. Here's where a lot of us were mistaught. We heard, don't trust your feelings, or felt painful feelings too much. And we translated it as, shove them in a closet and pretend you don't have any. But ignoring your feelings doesn't make them holy. It just makes them louder in the dark. Instead, try this. When something spikes in you, jealousy, fear, dread, unease, don't immediately label it just anxiety or definitely God. Bring it into the conversation. God, I'm feeling this. I don't know if it's you, my fear, or my past, but I invite you into it. Show me what's you and what's not. You're not asking your feelings to lead you. You're letting them be information God can speak into. That's what relationship looks like. Quick pause here. If this is connecting with you and you want to keep growing in your walk with God, make sure you subscribe and stay close. This whole channel is built for people like you, the ones waking up spiritually and trying to untangle all the noise. Alright, let's get practical. Now let's talk about naming the stones in your life and learning to wait on the real bread God is sending. In the wilderness story, the enemy tells Jesus, turn these stones into bread. But for you, it sounds more like, turn this relationship into your identity. Turn this job into your worth. Turn this habit into your comfort. In other words, take something that was never meant to nourish you and make it satisfy you right now. So here's a simple practice you can actually do this week. First, name your stone. Be brutally honest with God, with yourself. God, I keep running back to this person because I'm scared of being alone. I keep checking my phone because I don't want to sit with my thoughts. I stay busy so no one sees how exhausted and afraid I am. You're not surprising him. You're finally agreeing with what he already sees. Second, choose not to eat from it. That might look like not returning that DM tonight, closing the tab, saying, "No, I actually can't do that for you," even though they expect you to. It's not glamorous. It's not Instagram pretty, but it's holy. Third, ask for real bread. God, I am tired. I'm lonely. I'm scared of making the wrong move. I'm laying this stone down. I need you to feed my soul with something real. You might not feel an instant wave of peace, but you just stepped out of agreement with the lie that you have to fix it all yourself. You just made room for the help he's already sending. Before we close in prayer, let me say this as clearly as I can. You are not a project. You are family. You are not a problem God is reluctantly trying to solve. You are a son. You are a daughter. You are loved in the middle of the confusion. And around here, in this little corner of the internet, you are not just a view count. This is meant to be a safe space. If you're comfortable doing so, drop a comment and finish this sentence. God, I need help discerning. Or pray for me about. You don't have to give details if you don't want to. You can say unspoken, and that's enough. Let this comment section be a place where you are seen and covered, where we pray for each other, not just scroll past each other. And if you ever feel led to pour back into this space, Super Thanks is there, not as pressure, but as one way to help more messages like this be created and reach people walking through the same wilderness you are. Whether you give or never give, whether you comment or just watch quietly, I'm grateful you're here. All right, let me pray over you. If you can, just take a breath and let this be between you and God for a moment. God, I thank you for the person watching this right now. You see their nervous system, their history, their late-night thoughts. You see every time they've wondered, is this just me or is this you? I ask that you begin to untangle that for them. Show them what is anxiety and what is a holy warning. Calm the places in their body that have lived in constant danger for years. For the one who's afraid of missing you, remind them that you're a good shepherd. You know how to get their attention. Give them peace that isn't counterfeit. Give them wisdom for the decisions in front of them. Surround them with the right people, the right counsel, the right confirmations. And when the enemy lies and says, "You're on your own, you're too broken, you always hear wrong," let your voice be louder. You're mine, you're loved. I'm not leaving you in this wilderness. Help them to feel you closer this week than they have in a long time. In your holy and loving name, Jesus, amen. If you stayed all the way to the end, I want you to know that says something about your heart. You don't just want quick relief. You want real relationship with God. You are not behind. You are not crazy for caring this much. You're awakening. And as you learn the difference between anxiety and holy warning, you're going to realize He's here. He's handling what you can't. You're His. And the guidance you've been begging for, it's already on the way.